Hello, I'm Nicole, the artist behind Art by Nicole, and today I'm going to show you how to take a stencil and make it your own. So let's go. Okay, today I am using my Artica 10 by 10 sketchbook. Underneath it, I have a turntable, and I'll link the sketchbook and the turntable in the description down below. I also have a stencil from a stencil set I just got from Amazon. A Nick Pro 0.5 millimeter mechanical pencil, my handy dandy pencil eraser, my kneaded eraser, and 2 pieces of painter's tape, masking tape, washi tape, just some kind of tape to fix this in place while we trace the stencil. Now I like to use this technique when I feel like I want to draw something, but I don't know what to draw, and I just want to make something. One of the quickest ways or easiest ways I found to satisfy that itch is to take a stencil and completely turn it into something unique. You don't have to go by exactly the stencil. And I have done this a few times in my little sketchbook. So like this was a stencil, but I added the outer ring, shaded the inner ring, turned these into petals. That's not a great example. Here's another example with just some graphite and some gold. Maybe when we're done, we'll see. I was on this kick for a while. These are all based on these little 4x4 stencils I got also from Amazon, which I will link those down below as well. I think this one's one of my favorites. This is when I became obsessed with the whole graphite and gold combination. It's beautiful. Okay. So I ordered the 8x8 stencils because I wanted to do that graphite and gold technique larger. So let's go ahead and get this traced out. Now the reason I have the turntable is because it's a mandala stencil and it's the same on all sides. And instead of just forcing my hand into a awkward position or picking up the notebook and turning it, I find it easier when I can just spin my sketchbook. So that's pro tip for you. If you're doing a lot of mandala work, get yourself a turntable for your sketchbook. Or I do paintings. I put paintings on this and spin it. This is a 12-inch round. I also have an 8-inch, and I have little bitty ones for working with rocks. So, yep, that's my pro tip for the day. All right, let's go ahead. And all I'm going to do right now is trace the stencil as is. And then we'll come back and I'll show you how I turn it into something that's uniquely my own. Okay? Let's go ahead and do that then. Okay, now that we have it all traced out, I think, lift it up. Yeah, looks good. Doesn't look like I missed anything. That's why I only tape stencils on the top two corners, or right up here if there's room, but that was too close to the cutout for me, so. Okay. And there we have our stencil. When I do this exercise, I like to trace or stencil a bunch of them in my sketchbook at a time. That way, when I feel like doing this, or I'm ready to work on one of these, I can just flip to the page and get started. I don't have to go through the whole tracing process every single time. So, all right. Another pro tip: take a piece of tissue paper. Actually, I'm going to get a piece of notebook paper because this is going to be too crinkly for my microphone. I prefer to use the tissue paper because it's semi-transparent, easier to see what you're doing. Okay. Now, something I might do is you get a little ruler like this to help me with some of the design. So what I'm first going to do is connect all these little points at the bottom to the center. And to line up my ruler, I'm picking a point on the same line and eyeballing it with the other side. And then I just make my mark. Okay, I like that. I'm also going to connect this point to the center too. And what I'll do here is close this gap. I'm just going to eyeball it. What I'm going to do here is connect these shapes, just a slightly rounded line. So this kind of looks like a flower in the center, like most of my mandalas. What I would like to do is put a shape in this area, and I am thinking circle. Now you could find something that fits in this shape. I have one of these circle maker templates. I'm just gonna find a circle and put it in there and change that placement. I think I want it right up against this space here. It'll be easier to line everything up then. And then I'm going to erase this top part of the circle so it looks like at this line, there's like a ball connected at the end. So there's this little shape here, and I kind of feel like that it does that. And then maybe it comes back up like that. Looking good so far. What I would like to do is maybe sketch a line that's roughly the same thickness as this line here, or that line there. I think what we're going to do here is bring it to a bit of a tip. And then we'll mimic that there too, so it closes up this line work. So this shape here is kind of weird, but it looks like we could connect it that way. And that's basically the majority of what I'm doing, is just finding a way to connect some of the shapes. Let's connect those as well. And then we can do that corner thing there. Oops. Though I don't hate that. Let's do both of those. So we'll connect this and then that. Now what I want to do, we'll just connect these three pieces to this for now while I think about that. Oh no, I missed that there. So let's see if I can line this back up. Let's set that closer in case I need it again. I think I want to add another circle here. Yep. So it's a 3/8 inch. Okay. I like to carry the circle theme. Probably see if there's one that fits there too. The 3/8 fits pretty good. When you're working with mandalas, having a balanced composition is easy to achieve when you have repeating elements. I missed a little triangle there. So I think what I'm going to do is connect and make sure that these edges touch that to close in that shape. Just close that too. I think there's room for another circle here. I'm just going to freehand it. And then this connects like that, I think. And then we'll connect these two. Now, if you're not sure about something, just try it. If you don't like it, erase it. That's better. And then we can erase the inside of that. This looks like it might go that way, but that doesn't fit with what I did here. So erase it. And there we go. I can still see the lines underneath. Yeah. Looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. One thing I'm considering is this inside piece isn't connected to anything. It's just kind of floating there, which is fine. But I want this to feel connected. So what I'm going to do, these points, and just connect them to this outer thing. And I'm going to do the same with these ones. There we go. Now it's connected and I feel a little better. Now let's come back to these outer points. Thinking that connects like that. Yep, little circle. And then this loops there into the center again. And then out in here, I'll connect these like this. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I don't mind the openness of these shapes. I think those are the only section we didn't do anything with. Now that I'm looking at it, I think I'd rather do this. Erase the middle. Yep. Gonna do it. Let's see, is there anything else we want to change? Maybe we could open this up. I know we closed it, but I think it might look better open. Okay, now the fun part. We are going to shade it in. Now at this stage, you can do whatever you want. You can use markers. You can use colored pencils. It's kind of detailed to use like paint markers or whatever, but I'm just going to use graphite and a gold Uniball Signo pen. What I'll do is I will shade a section and then I'll do the rest and then come back so you can see the final result. Now for the shading, like I said, I'm using graphite and I'm using this #1 blending stump. You can use whatever you have for shading. I also have these little paper stumps. They're called tortillions. You can use those. They're great too. I wouldn't recommend your finger because, again, this is pretty detailed. So, all right, let's get started. I'm going to stick with my 0.5 millimeter. So let's I'm going to start from the center out so I don't smudge. Unintentional smudging. I will be purposefully smudging. And if you take your kneaded eraser, if you go too dark with shading, you can just use it to pick up. Okay. And again, you don't have to be as fussy as I'm being here. You can just get a colored pencil and color in solid chunks of color. That would be beautiful as well. It might be hard to see on camera, but I can still see that line that we drew. I'm definitely going to bring that out with the gold later. I'm going to make the tip of this triangle dark from the center coming out. And these little triangles, I'm going to probably make this line, this part of the triangle, gold. Get a fade with the upper part. And in here, in this shape, remember we have these outlines. I'm going to go in between with a really dark color. And then we're going to fade from this side up. And having the deeper value around the edge inside this shape helps push these shapes more forward. A tip when shading, don't press so hard on your paper. Get a darker lead, like a 2B, because then it won't blend as smoothly. You will see your pencil strokes underneath like I did here. I pressed a little too hard. And then the nice thing, after a while, you get some graphite built up on your blending tool. You can just use what's on the tool. You don't have to lay down any extra graphite. Since I made this side dark, I'm going to make the middle dark up here. Have the dark fade out from the bottom here on these, like it's being gathered. Dark up here, or down here, whatever. Depends on how you're looking at it, I guess. I don't know if you can hear it on the mic, but my cat, Lilu, is laying to the left of me and she's snoring. She's so cute. And again, I made this bottom part dark so that the highlight on this side would stand out. And that's the same thing I'm going to do down here too. So I've done each of the elements so that you can get an idea of where I'm going with this for the shading. I'm going to come back once I finish all of the shading, and then I'll show you where I'm going to add the gold. All right, be right back. Okay, as you can see, I have completed the shading. It may or may not have taken me more than a day, but it's all right. It's kind of a meditative process. So now what I like to do is add gold. You could leave it just like this. You could use a colored pencil for some contrast. You could use silver. It's up to you. It's your mandala. So, like I said, I'm going to use gold, and this is a Uniball Pilot Signo. And let's make sure it works. There we go. And once again, I'm just going to do the sections, and then I'll finish it off camera and bring it back when it's completely done. All right. And we need this to rest our hand on to protect it from smudging. probably going to leave this center portion here white because I'm liking that contrast the way that looks. Okay. I really do like the way that is looking. Don't think I'm going to make any changes to it. Maybe here, just do a little gold ball. Bring that up. Nice and shiny. All right. I'm going to finish these outlines, the gold, and then I'll be back. And here we have it. The finished graphite and gold mandala. I'm really pleased with how this came out. You can see the shine of the gold. So we took this stencil with just basic shapes and turned it into this mandala. Not bad. This is a great technique to spark your creativity, get ideas rolling in your head. I can't wait to do more mandalas. Let me know in the comments down below if you give this technique a try. That's it for today. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.